I'm your huckleberry.
Disclaimer: the Tisas 1911 DS Duty worked perfectly fine without the addition of the added comp. This is how I got the gun to run with the added comp.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We're out here again today with the Tisas 1911 DS Duty. In the last video in this series, I installed this compensator from CZ Industries, annotated here. And we noticed we got a few reliability issues introduced to the pistol when we did that. The main thing I noticed is that I started having fail to ejects in ammunition that had been proven reliable without the compensator. I really like the way the compensator looks, so I wanted to try to tinker around with it and see if I could find a way to make this pistol reliable with the comp installed. Hopefully I've done that, so I figured I'd bring you guys along to let you see me shooting to test this thing out and see if I've actually got it fixed. If I did get it fixed, then afterwards I'll go inside and we'll break this thing down on tabletop and I'll show you exactly what I've done to the pistol and what I think the problem was. But I'm not going to keep talking. I've got about 5 mags preloaded here, so we're going to go ahead and just get to shooting and see how this thing works out. Let's go ahead and get started. We got the first one loaded up. This is a Springfield Prodigy 20 round mag. Let's see how it goes. All right, got through that one pretty good. Let's see how the rest of them run. Let's go ahead and try one of the Tisas factory mags. This has got 17 rounds. We'll go ahead and try a few shots out at 100 and see how it does. All right, had to remember where to hold there at 100 yards. It's about maybe 12 inches high. But that ran that mag fully functional, no problem. So let's go ahead and keep moving. Go ahead with another one of the Prodigy 20 rounders. Let's see how this one does. All right, that was 7 to 75 yards. That magazine ran flawlessly. Let's keep it going. We'll take the other, what the fuck is this thing called? The other Tisas mag with 17 rounds, and let's see how this one performs. I'm gonna try to go from 7 to 100 yards. Let's see how we do. All right, we hit everything from 7 to 100 yards. We did miss a couple of times, but the gun ran flawlessly. Let's keep going. Here's the last mag. This is another one of the Prodigy mags with 20 rounds loaded up. $20 rounds went out with no problems. So safe to say, guys, I think I fixed the reliability issues I was having with this compensator, and it looks like, at least for the time being, I'm going to be able to keep it installed and it's going to run fine. The gun is a little warm, 100 rounds will do that, but overall, super happy with it. Now I'll go ahead and take you guys inside and show you what I did. See you in a minute. All right, guys, we're here on the tabletop to go ahead and take a look at the Tisas 1911 DS Duty and show you guys what I came up with to try to get that problem solved with a compensator causing some reliability issues. So I was doing a little bit of, I guess you could call it research. I went to the groups on Facebook for 1911 builders, and I was asking those guys about what was happening, trying to get some ideas, and a few of them that they were telling me kind of made sense. One was saying that maybe the extractor needed to be tuned. So I did purchase a Wilson Combat Bulletproof Series 70 extractor for 9mm. I don't know if I was doing something wrong. Most likely I was, but no matter how I tuned that spring, I could not get it to fit like it was supposed to. It seems like it was about, a few thousandths of an inch too long to really get any kind of tight grip on the rim of the shell case. And what I found was that no matter how much I tuned it as far as tightening it up, it really just wouldn't grab the case of the rim. And I mean, at one point, I had it bent so much that it was difficult to get into the slide of the pistol. And honestly, difficult to get out as well. And what I mean by that, I know that extractors are a little difficult normally. Like, that's not what I'm saying here. What I'm saying is like, when I tuned it, I kept bending it and bending it and bending it because it wasn't putting enough pressure on the shell case to hold it in place. That when I went to put it in, it was trying to clock. So the spring was actually twisting as it went inside. So I pulled that out and I was like, look, I'll deal with that another day. I went ahead and cleaned out the extractor channel on the slide, and I reinstalled the factory extractor. Now I do want to say I tested the factory extractor before and after to see how it was doing, and it seemed to be fine as far as holding shell casings. So I got to thinking, well, maybe that's not actually the issue. One of the other guys in the group said that it was possible that during the barrel's motion, when it fires, the barrel moves up and down, that it could have been just, I guess, moving a little bit more than it should in one direction, left or right, and that could cause the extractor to not get a good hold on the shell casing during cycling. So I thought about that, and I was like, maybe he's on to something there. So what I ended up doing was I got a Wilson Combat full-size guide rod, and I replaced the factory guide rod with the Wilson guide rod, and then I replaced the factory recoil spring with a 10-pound spring. That seemed to solve the problem. I'll go ahead and show you guys what that looks like now. So, when I replaced it with the full-size Wilson guide rod and the 10-pound spring, that allows the slide to move a little faster, but my theory is that the guide rod is actually keeping the barrel perfectly in line as it moves up and down because it takes all the play out of the recoil spring here. I don't know if that's what actually got it, but all I know is those are the only two parts that I really changed, with the exception of cleaning out the extractor channel. And there was a little bit of carbon built up in there, so that could have been causing a few issues, perhaps. But since I changed that part, I haven't had any more problems with this thing running reliably. I shot 100 rounds on camera today, but I also shot 100 rounds yesterday when I finished this, doing the job on this and fixing everything and putting all the parts in. And it ran 100 rounds yesterday with no issues, so I felt comfortable getting on camera with it. It ran 100 rounds today with no issues, so I'm pretty much sure that I've got that problem solved, and I can now safely run the compensator, and it won't, hopefully it won't give me any more problems in the future. Now, only time will tell, and I'll certainly have to keep testing it to find out, if this is a long-term solution or not, but for the time being, it does seem like I've got it figured out. So I'm going to go ahead now, just put this back together. If I can line up that barrel. Okay, and I think it looks pretty good. It actually gives it a nice look at the front. Looks a little more evened out. but everything works just like it should. I did also try getting some of these Wilson Combat shock buffers. Got them here somewhere. Where the hell are they? These are the springs I use, by the way. I got the Nick Taylor 00. I bought a 9, 10, 11, and 12 pound recoil spring, and 10 seemed to be the magic number to get that thing running. But I've also got those fucking shock buffers. There they are. So I tried these, and they did fit. But what I ran into was the gun would go far enough back to engage the slide lock. But then once it engaged the slide lock, it wouldn't actually come back anymore. So you couldn't unlock the slide by pulling the slide back. So I took them out. Another thing I checked, I'm going to take this back out again. One of the other things I checked, I just wanted to make sure that with the lower pound recoil spring that this part of the slide wouldn't hit the guide rod itself or damage the frame. So I did a compression test like I saw on the Atlas videos. And if fucking thing's got oil on it, I can't get my hand on it. But as you can see there, that's fully compressed. It just does have a little over 1/16 of an inch of clearance. So it cannot actually go back far enough to make contact. So it seems like that's going to solve the problem. I'm going to keep shooting it, and if I run into any more issues, I'll be sure to let you guys know. Now, with all that said, do I think this modification is worth it? Not really. No, I don't think it makes that big of a difference, to be honest, with the Compensator as far as performance. So for that reason, I wouldn't really recommend doing this yourself. Unless you're in the same boat I am and you just think it looks too cool not to do it. And then in that case, fuck it, do what you want, man. It's yours. That's how I feel about it. I don't think it makes that big of a performance enhancement. But I do think it looks cool enough that I was willing to keep it in there and actually do the tuning necessary to get it to function. And now it is functioning flawlessly with the comp installed, so I'm pretty happy. So that's what I came up with, guys. That was what I found in doing my testing, and that's what I wanted to share with you guys. As always, thanks for checking out the video. Thanks for coming to the channel. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe. It really does help. And as always, take care of yourselves. Peace.